Hi, I'm Karen Gadall, and I am a physician assistant and a certified natural health professional in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm also a LifeMax independent distributor, and I'd like to talk to you about Mila versus fish oil. First and foremost, I'd like to say that I believe in the value of this food, Mila, 100%. I believe this is nutrition that every person can benefit from and should consume on a daily basis. I also would like to point out that Dr. Walter Willett, who is the head of nutrition at the Harvard School of Public Health, is on record as saying that for our long-term health, we should consume a plant-based source of omega-3s, your ALA, 7 days a week, and a fish-based source 2 days a week. Mila is that plant-based source of your ALA that he is encouraging people, the form that he is encouraging people to consume 7 days a week for long-term health. First and foremost, in comparing Mila with fish oil, I'd like to just reiterate that fact that we are a food recognized as such by the US FDA, whereas fish oil is a processed supplement. As a whole raw food, we are completely unprocessed, unchanged, unaltered in any capacity. LifeMax controls the seeds that go into the Mila bag from the ground in their growing process, to their harvesting, to their cleaning, to their testing, to their preparing in terms of the cold fracturing process that we utilize, our proprietary process to increase the bioavailability, basically opening the seed so that your body has access to all of the nutrition that it contains, and into the bag, literally from A to Z. We control that process. We also have every crop tested for every known toxin, which is vitally important when you want to know that you're putting the cleanest, purest form of food into your body. The flip side of that is many fish oils have been proven to contain mercury, PCBs, and other toxins. So when you consume a fish oil, you need to know as close as you can that it is clear of those toxins. From my research, it should say molecularly distilled on the label, but I've also read some things that indicate that even that, they're not 100% sure that all of the mercury can be completely cleared. So you just need to know that with fish oil, you potentially are exposing yourself to toxins, and I would always encourage people, if you're going to purchase fish oil, to purchase only the highest grade, which again, for a quantity or a dose that would be considered therapeutic, you may then be getting into over $100 a month versus the availability and the affordability of Mila at basically $1.60 per day on a retail standing. It's also very important to note that if a woman is pregnant, attempting pregnancy, breastfeeding, the toxins that could be contained in fish oil really are not recommended for her, or certainly for her unborn or newly born baby. So please consider that too. It's also important to note that as a food, synergistically, all of our parts work together, enhancing really the effectiveness of each of the components, so we get a increased availability and increased cellular access, effectiveness to the omega-3s, the phytonutrients, the protein, the antioxidants, and all of the components that make up Mila, versus with the fish oil, if the appropriate amount of antioxidants are not in place, which the standard diet does not contain the appropriate amount of antioxidants. Most people that I talk to do not consume the amount of antioxidants they should on a daily basis for health. Fish oil can actually be pro-inflammatory versus anti-inflammatory in these environments, and so that would be something to consider if you are a fish oil consumer. Mila is also a food with no allergens, risks, warnings, limitations. Fish oil, on the other hand, you have to consume a limited amount. You can overconsume the oil, which can then be damaging and more concerning. Your healthcare provider, hopefully, if you are consuming fish oil, told you what that therapeutic dose would be for you, but know that there are limitations that is from where it's safe for it to be consumed. With Mila, there is no risk of rancidity or oxidation. Our bags actually have a 2-year shelf life, and because of the antioxidant content, the risk of rancidity is not there. The risk of oxidation is not there. On the other hand, as the oils are extracted, and one question I always would want to know the answer to was, how long was that fish dead before the oil was extracted? Because honestly, the rancidity could already be begun even before the oil is extracted if the fish has been dead for some period of time. But also, what process did the oil go through in its steps, if you will, from the liver of the dead fish to the capsule, so that there was always the attempt, or not the attempt, but the possibility for oxidation to have occurred, and that is something that you need to be aware of as well. Mila also has no taste or smell, which is very attractive and makes it very easy to consume, be they across the board from children to elderly, whereas fish oil can have, most do have, from my experience, a significant and not very pleasant aftertaste. The other important component is there is really no risk to our planet in consuming Mila. This is a plant-based form of ALA that does no damage at all to our planet in the growing or the harvesting, whereas on the other hand, when fish are harvested, or the overfishing of our oceans, for the fish oil industry, for the krill industry, and for other areas that fish are used for, we actually have the risk of having our first dead ocean by the year 2050 if we don't change the way we treat our oceans. And if that's of interest to you or concern to you, I would encourage you to Google dead oceans in 2050. So this is truly a way that we can have a positive impact on our environment, on our oceans, and on our health by consuming a food like Mila. I would encourage you, if you'd like more information, to look at Dr. Bob Arnott's video on Is Mila a Good Source of Omega-3s here on this website. There also the audio by Dr. Francisco Gutierrez, who goes into great detail on the conversion of ALA to EPA and DHA and the evidence that our body does convert. And that is very vital information for us all to understand. And also the video featuring Dr. Brian Clement, who is the director of the Hippocrates Institute, and the overall value of this food to our bodies as additional understanding of what this food brings to the table. So in looking at the two sources of omega-3s, I hope that was helpful for you. And God bless. Have a great day.